Sai Bhakta Sai Tapa, Sai Moro Bhakta Japa, Sai Bhakta Sai Tapa, Sai Mora Mantra Japa, Sai Mora Parama Parama, Sai Mora Parama Parama, Anukula Habe Bheti, Sarpate Hoi Bheti, Anukula Habe Bheti, Sarpate Hoi Bheti, Nirakhima Edoi Narane, Nirakhimo Edoi Narane, Śrī Rūpa Madhurī-rāse, Prana-ko balaya sāse, Śrī Rūpa Madhurī-rāse, Prana-ko balaya sāse, Apolita Apolita Chirodina kapita divana, Aharupa Garodaya, Neomoni Padachaya, Aharupa Garodaya, Neomoni Padachaya, Purushottam Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Naam Sankirtan ki Jai, Rūpa Gosvāmī ki Jai. Upadeśāmṛta text 2. Atyaharaha prayasasya prajalpo niyamagraha jana sangasya laulyasya sarvir bhaktir vinashyate. Atyahara, overeating or too much collecting.
Overeating or too much collecting.
Prayasaha, over endeavoring. Cha,
and
Prajalpaha,
idle idle talking,
niyama,
niyama,
rules and regulations,
rules and regulations,
agraha,
agraha,
too much attachment to,
too much attachment to,
or too much neglect of.
or too much neglect of.
When it becomes agraha,
When it becomes
jana sangaha,
jana sangaha,
association with worldly minded persons,
association with worldly minded persons,
cha,
cha,
and
and
laulyam,
lolyam,
ardent longing or greed,
ardent longing or greed,
cha,
cha,
and sadhi,
should be
by the six,
by these six.
bhakti,
Bhakti,
devotional service,
devotional service.
vinashyate,
Vinashyati
is destroyed.
is destroyed.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Once devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in following six activities: eating more than necessary, or collecting more funds than required, over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the spiritual rules and regulation only for the sake of following them, or not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of scriptures and working independently or whimsically, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, and being greedy for mundane achievements. So, dear friends, अरे हरबॉल इधर आकर सब बैठो और सबको बुलाओ, सबको बिठाओ इधर। जय श्री भगवान की
जय।
श्रीला गिरिराज कृष्ण की
जय।
श्री श्री राधा रमन जी की
जय।
स्नान यात्रा की
जय।
जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की
जय।
So as promised, I am going to speak about Lord Jagannath that most of you have never heard. So today I am going to speak, but first we will discuss this verse. So can you show me the participants? Let me see who can read. Okay. Akshay has already read. Abhishek Bansal, Abhishek Panchal, Anmol Avasti, Jagadev Ghai. So let them read. So we start with Abhishek Bansal. Read the first paragraph. Is Abhishek Bansal reading? Okay. Then Abhishek Panchal, can you read? I think they have simply logged in, but they are not there.
Panchal.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, sir.
Read.
Yeah, human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Since all conditioned living beings are under the control of the Lord's third energy, this material world is designed so that one is obliged to work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three primary energies or potencies. The first is called Antaranga Shakti or the internal potency. The second is called Tatastha Shakti or the marginal potency. The third is called Bahiranga Shakti or the external potency. The living entities constitute the marginal potency and they are situated between the internal and external potencies. Being subordinate as eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Jivatmas or the atomic living entities must remain under the control of either the internal or external potency. When they are under the control of the internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activity, namely constant engagement in the devotional service of the Lord. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.13. Mahatmanas tu mam partha devim prakritimashritaha bhajantyanyaya manasho kyatva bhuta dim avyayam. O son of Pritha, Those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible.
Thank you. Thank you very much for reading. So this paragraph, Prabhupada is saying human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. So we should live very plain, in the sense, simple living. What is simple living? Simple living means we take bare minimum necessity from the nature, from the world. Bare necessity we take, and that is necessary to maintain body and soul together. And what we do? High thinking. We practice the process of self-realization. Because if one becomes self-realized, that person can do good to the entire world. So human life is meant for self-realization. Atma Sakhyātkar. A person who doesn't know the purpose of human life is simply a burden on the earth. Because human life is not supposed to be a burden. Human life, in this world, all creatures, they give something to the nature. Only human beings, they can exploit the nature if they are not interested in self-realization. And current coronavirus has proved that when lockdown occurred, nature became beautiful. The world became beautiful. On the Nirdala Ekadasi, we went to take bath in Ganga, and we saw Ganga is full of water, good water. So in our traditional way of life, we are taught to live simply, but work for self-realization. Like in the previous verse, Prabhupada said so many times that how to, utilize all the urges in the service to Krishna. Similarly, we learned that this is not, for example, the debate whether should I remain a brahmachari or a grihastha, based on whether I can control my sexual desire or not. This is a ridiculous proposition. I have seen this when I was also in Juhu temple. I have always talked about it, that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you are serving Krishna, you are independent of this false designation. So, it doesn't matter whether you are a grihastha or a brahmachari, as long as your goal is to please Krishna consciousness, please Krishna, then you are beyond so-called designation of a brahmachari and grihastha. It doesn't matter. So this is called self-realization. When I am looking at the highest goal, then the lower dimensions, they don't really matter to me. So this is very, very important. And Prabhupada said there are three categories of energy of Krishna. We are marginal potency, and either we can work under his internal potency or external potency. And those who work under his internal potency are called Mahatma. What is meaning of internal potency working on? That means instead of working in the mundane plane, I go to the plane which is beyond space and time. That is material space and material time. There is transcendental space, there is transcendental time. But that space and time is different. This space and time is different. So I have to operate altogether in a different realm. And how that happens? Mahatman astum mam partam daivim prakritim asrita. So how that happens? Bhajanti ananya manoso yatva bhutadim abhyam. Bhajanti ananya manoso. I think this is the right time for me to tell the Jagannath story because today is Snana Yatra. अरे अरे बोल तो सुनाई नहीं दे क्या? आ जाओ सब आ जाओ. विशाखा, ललिता, सबको कान पकड़ कर लेकर. वो जीजी को तो 10 बार पकड़ के ला. सब इधर बैठो. और जीजी का कान पकड़ कर ला. Okay. So dear devotees, so what this particular verse, 10 बार, why did you go? Jamuna, sit down here. So, my dear daughter, plain simple, plain living and high thinking. So, there was a devotee of Lord Jagannath. He was residing in Jajpur. Jajpur is around, from Puri is around 160, 20, 60. So, around 150 kilometers. Jajpur is around 150 kilometers, or little more than that, something like that. Okay. So this devotee's name was Bandhu Mahanti. And Bandhu Mahanti, he was very poor. He used to hardly able to feed his family members properly. But he was constantly chanting holy name. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, he never knew anything except Krishna's name. He would constantly chant Krishna's name. There are times where he will sit and while chanting he will be profusely crying. And his family members, his wife will go and give him a push. And then he will come into his external consciousness. So once in Jajapura, there was a kind of a famine. So normally he used to go and beg something and feed his family members. When a famine occurred, people don't have food to eat. So how they can give anything? So when his family members went without food for many days, then Bandhu Mahanti was asked by his wife, "What are you doing? You want us to die? Don't you have any friend where we can go and at least pass this turbulent time?" Right? So then Bandhu Mahanti said, "I have only one friend I know, and he lives very far from here." So wife said, "How far?" "No, very far. But don't worry. We are dying here. It is better. And let us go. You carry one child, I'll carry one child, and we'll go." So like that, Bandhu Mahanti, his family, they had 3 children, and they all started walking to Jagannath Puri. And it took them 4 days to reach Jagannath Puri. So when they reached in Jagannath Puri, they reached the Singadwara and they saw, very nicely dressed people are going. There is police, and this is for the first time he is coming. He looks very, very wretched. No dress, proper dress. Looks like a very, urchin. And he didn't even dare to enter into the main gate. What to take up darshan of Jagannath. So, what he did, he took the Patita Pavana darshan, Patita Pavana Jagannath darshan, and went to the south gate. And there, in the south gate, all the peja, that means when the things are left, so they put in the water and then, so this spoiled rice are thrown so that cows and others, they can come and they can eat. So what happened is that he tasted that and said, this is all right. So he called his family members and said, we have something to eat. And his wife said, why? We have to eat this. You have a friend here, no? We have to go. Let's go. We will be fresh. And then he will certainly give us some food, nice food to eat. Why you are? No. Today he has many guests. I'm seeing he is very busy today. So if I go, it will disturb him. Tomorrow morning I'll go. You be satisfied with this. So from that southern gate, all the remnants, whatever are thrown of Jagannath Prasadam, he fed everyone, and everybody was so tired, walking, they fell asleep. So before asleep, Bandhumanti prayed to Jagannath. I have come this far, and I'm not able to feed my family members, and they are here. I told that I have a friend, but I know only I have one friend. And it is up to you to take care of everything. And then he slept. So pujaris, they did their sringara, everything, and then locked the door, took the key, and everybody left. So Jagannath got up and looked at what are there. So he took his own golden plate and put whatever his remnants are there. He put everything, cakes, sweets, everything he put it, and went to the southern gate and called, Bandhu, Bandhu. Then he realized, I am a useless urchin. Probably there are so many bandhus here. So he must be, he must be calling. Then the call came. No, I am calling Bandhu Mahanti from Jajapura. So then he realized, I am being called. So he went to again southern gate, and then he found a old Brahman kind of person and handed over that golden plate filled with so much of prasad. Yes, please take. And he brought, and he woke up his family members. My friend has given, see, he has given so many nice food stuff. Please eat. After a long time, they are eating nice food stuff. They are eating. They finished. In no time, they finished the plate. And after they finished, he washed the plate and went to the southern gate again and said, Sir, please take your plate. There is nobody. And next day, early morning, Mangalarati time, Pujari came and saw the main golden plate is missing. Immediately, the main Pujari, head Pujari, informed the temple manager. temple management rounded all the pujaris, and now everybody was beaten very mercilessly, because who else will steal from the temple? So all the pandas that day got nice sauce. So police was beating everyone. And then when the news spread that Jagannath's plate has been stolen, then the outside people, they realize, oh, there is a family who is resting in the southern gate, and we saw one golden plate there. And golden plate will be easily, and just when the early morning sunshine, it dazzles, right? And so they all caught Madhumati, and they beat him mercilessly, and they put him in the prison. And in the prison, Madhumati said, I am the greatest sinner. They are beating me because I am a sinner. And whatever is happening, you want it. So you have punished me, I accept it. But the point is that there is no other friend other than you. So Padumati prayed like that. And Jagannath became restless. He said, Are, I gave him prasadam, and these people are beating him mercilessly and put him in the prison. So he called as soon as the Pandas left, he called out the Garuda. Take me to Katak. So Garuda came. Jagannath was seated in Garuda, reached the palace of king. So, and then he entered into the dream of the king and told everything. What is this nonsense you are doing? Some guest will come to your palace. You will treat like this? And then Jagannath told, order the king. You see, he is my friend and you have to take care of him. You must make nice accommodation for him. He should be provided some food regularly. And then he came back, Jagannath. And but you see that those days, these are not mythical stories, because purity was so much. Jagannath could interact with the king, with the pujaris on a daily basis. We have seen even 1,000 years ago in all South Indian temples, the Lord Ranganath, Bharadaraja, on a continuous basis interacting with the pujaris. Okay. And we have seen also, Kirchara Gopinath. Gopinath interacting with the pujari. So it is not uncommon. It is natural. So Jagannath goes and tells, and Raja wakes up in the middle of the night. He calls out the minister. And there is an immediate procession to the temple. And the king goes directly to the temple prison. And in fact, the Jagannath had ordered the king that not only you should go, you should release him, you should beg apology, you should do abhishekam to him, nicely bathe him, give him nice dress, And the king followed exactly same thing. Same thing, exactly what Jagannath said, he followed the same thing. So this is the reciprocation of the Lord. When we become Ananya Bhakta, Ananya, that means when we recognize Krishna is only my friend, like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying, that tomare hoite ami, tomara loite ami hoini bhakta, ami bina bandhuaro ke ache tomar. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is directly saying this, that there is no better, there is no other friend than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this does not register within our heart, within our consciousness. This is a very unfortunate thing. Yes, Bandhu Mahanti went through torture, he was beaten heavily, he was imprisoned, but this is not a price. This is a very ordinary price he paid. This is nothing. And Jagannath told that in front of everyone, you should honor him by putting a turban. And the king did the same thing. So, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, those who have taken shelter of the holy name. You know, I asked people Arora to explain what is the process of chanting. He blubbered, didn't say anything. I asked Pawan Goyal. Is he there? Pawan Goyal is there?
Yes.
Pawan Goyal is there. He also could not say anything. Our chanting is a transcendental process. 10 times I am telling, but it doesn't register. We still think chanting means utter and hear, utter and hear. This is not chanting. By associating with bhaktas, we capture the holy name. That holy name within our heart speaks. And that makes our tongue to utter or vibrate. This is a completely transcendental process. This is not a material process. And this is what it is saying. Bhadati ananya manoso jnatva bhutadim abhyam. This is Mahatma. And you will see the concocted Mahatmas that we have created, how Prabhupada would castigate in the next paragraph. Someone can read Anmol Avasti.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Read.
Hare Krishna, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. The word Mahatma refers to those who are broad-minded, not cripple-minded. Cripple-minded persons always engaged in satisfying their senses, sometimes expand their activities in order to do good for others through some ism like nationalism, humanitarianism, or altruism. They may reject personal sense gratification for the sense gratification of others, like the members of their family, community, or society, either national or international. Actually, all this is extended sense gratification from personal to communal to social. This may all be very good from the material point of view, but such activities have no spiritual value. The basis of such activity is sense gratification, either personal or extended. Only when a person gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord can he be called a Mahatma or broad-minded person.
Exactly. Krishna must be pleased. Now also, this very terrible situation which has occurred, called coronavirus, if we do massive Sankirtan all across, the situation will change. Situation will change. But unfortunately, I don't see any scope now how we can do it. But someone has to do. Who will bell the cat? Someone has to bell the cat. This is the issue. So, people do not recognize that, like, because of coronavirus, temples were closed, people were, which is not a good sign, and good temples to be closed because so many people are getting benefit. But now because of corona, even if you open the temple, nobody would come because everybody is afraid to go out. Fear has entered into people like anything. But if everybody would remain in fear, after some time nobody will even get food to eat. Where they will go? So, when we miss the root is Krishna. When we miss the root, then all kind of problems. People thought science and technology can solve so many problems. We can live comfortably. One coronavirus has completely destroyed this so-called myth. Science and technology can give us comfort of life. What comfort? One coronavirus has completely destroyed millions of dreams. Economy is crippled. People are completely out of fear, people are pure sight. And, there is depression all around, unemployment, unrest, civil riots. So many things are happening. So this so-called Mahatma definition, based on some philanthropic work, humanitarian work, international, union work, these are not Mahatma.
मैं लॉग आउट करता हूँ प्रभु जी.
So Mahatma means those who satisfy or fulfill Krishna's desire. Next paragraph. Show me the participant, what are you doing? This fellow has become another crazy. Jagdeep Ghai. Jagdeep Prabhu, please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In the above quoted verse from Bhagavad Gita, the word Devim Prakritim refer to the control of the internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani or her expansion Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. When the individual jiva souls are under the control of the internal energy, their only engagement is the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. This is the position of a Mahatma. If one is not a Mahatma, he is a Duratma or a cripple-minded person. Such mentally crippled Duratmas are put under the control of the Lord's external potency, Mahamaya. Indeed, all living entities within this material world are under the control of Mahamaya, whose business is to subject them to the influence of threefold miseries: Adi Devik Klesha, sufferings caused by the demigods such as droughts, earthquakes, and storms; Adi Bhautik Klesha, suffering caused by other living entities like insects or enemies; and Adhyatmik Klesh, suffering caused by one's own body and mind, such as mental and physical infirmities. Devi Bhutama Hitva, the conditioned souls subjected to these miseries by the control of the external energy suffer various difficulties.
Thank you. Thank you,
Tamil?
Gurudji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Nicely. So here, Prabhupada is saying that if we fail to take shelter of Krishna's internal potency, then we become Duratma. We become Duratma. So either you are Duratma or you are Mahatma. And of course, there is in between those who are trying to go to the level of Mahatma from Duratma. So here, if we are constantly taking shelter of Krishna's internal potency, will not be called as Duratma. Even if we have not been purely situated in the internal potency of Krishna, but we are following the process that is coming in the parampara system, descending. When we are following a process that is coming from a plane beyond space and time and to this space and time here. So what is that has come from there to here? Haridas Thakur is saying, only one thing for Kali Yuga, that is holy name. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And when we take shelter of that holy name, and on the strength of our chanting, we go for Krishna. By strength of that chanting, we go and distribute books. By strength of that chanting, we go and speak about Krishna. By strength of the chanting, we go and write for Krishna. This is called taking shelter of the internal potency of Krishna. We are not situated in internal potency, but we are taking shelter. So then we are not Duratma. But if we don't take shelter of Krishna's internal potency, then now, for example, coronavirus, it is a very depressing situation, let me tell you. Today I was talking to one TCS official, and I was seeing that, he was telling that in his apartment within 500 meters, someone died of COVID and how it has caused so much of tension all around. And people are really frightened. And this is going to increase more and more. More and more. And let me tell you, the world has almost lost hope. So this, in a simple virus, so these Prabhupada is saying there are three Vida Klesa. Mahamaya will give us Trivida Klesa. Right? Today is Snana Purnima. And Jagannath's sister is Subhadra. And I had told you in Brahma Samhita, Subhadra is Yogamaya. And her expansion within the material world is Mahamaya. And this Mahamaya constantly tortures us. Trivida Klesa. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. So this is what? This is Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika. A virus has come. I don't know. The way it is getting transmitted, it is so dangerous how it is transmitting. Today, news has come that our defense secretary, and he has also caught coronavirus. Defense secretary. Anybody can catch coronavirus. Who will not catch? And so, my dear friends, there is no point to fear if you have taken shelter of Krishna, like Bandhu Mahanti. He didn't feel there is any friend except Jagannath. Except Jagannath, he never felt that there is another friend. But unfortunately, our friend. What is the wealth of this friend? What is the value of this friend? 10,000 rupees, 20,000, 30,000. This is our friend. My dear friend, this is our friend. Very big friend. Very big friend. This is our friend. So unfortunate our situation is. So, next, who can read? Bapi Sarkar. Bapi Sarkar, you want to read? Is he reading? Yes. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Krishna Prabhuji.
I read. Can you read?
Actually, my sight is problem, Prabhuji. I am not actually not seeing in the screen.
Okay. So let us see who can read again. Go to that line. Pavan read. Radhakant, please read. Did Radhakant read? He has not read. Okay. Radhakant, please read.
Yes. The main problem confronting the
Voice is breaking.
conditioned souls is the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death. In the material world, one has to work, but how one can perform such work in a way that is favorable for the execution of Krishna consciousness. Everyone requires possessions such as food grains, clothing, money, and other necessary. Not collect more than necessary for his actual basic needs. If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. According to nature's arrangement, living entities lower on the evolutionary scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. Consequently, in the animal kingdom, there is generally no economic problem or scarcity of necessities. If a bag of rice is placed in a public place, birds will come to eat a few grains and go away. A human being, however, will take away the whole bag. He will eat all his stomach can hold and then try to keep the rest in storage. According to scriptures, this collecting of more than necessary atyahar is prohibited. Now the entire world is suffering because of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, here it says the main problem we have is birth, death, old age and disease. In this material world, we have to work very hard for the maintenance of the body and soul. But how can one perform such work in a way that is favorable for the execution of Krishna consciousness? This is the basic point Prabhupada is saying. Because everybody needs, like Bandhu Mahanti wanted food. He was chanting. He was chanting incessantly. He has full dependence on Jagannath. But still he wanted food. He has a family. He has to sustain them. So Prabhupada is saying that we need food, grains, clothing, money. All these things we need. But Prabhupada is saying, by nature's arrangement, they are all provided. We should follow certain principle. What is that principle? Atyahara. He gives the example of a bag full of rice. He put in the jungle. The birds would come and eat whatever they need. Looking at a big bag of rice, they don't feel, greedy with it. That I will hoard it. Right? Like for example, you see, even when Corona started, even within IIT Kanpur, people started hoarding the medicine. What is that? Chloroquine, and there are many medicines they hoarded. So then our director has to write a mail to everyone, and I was shocked. And then not only that, and then they made a rule that if they want to get some medicine from the Apollo, then it must be certified by the doctor. Otherwise they cannot go and get any medicine from the Apollo. So you see the mindset. IIT, there are so many professors here. We hope that they are very highly, educated people, but they are hoarding medicine. Can you imagine? Medicine they are hoarding. So why you hoard things? Because you don't depend on Krishna. Like Corona has come, suppose it has to kill me. What can I do? Tell me. Should I go and hide somewhere, make a bunker, and die there out of hunger? It is better. Those who are Corona patients, I go and serve them, and at least I can tell them, chant, I can make them hear Hare Kṛṣṇa or recite some Bhagavad Gita verses, and I die peacefully. Then hiding myself in remaining in seclusion. That is a ridiculous thing. Die we must. Who will not die? But there is no spiritual knowledge in people. So I was seeing the Spanish flu that happened. You see, those days India, who was traveling? Now India, so literally everybody is traveling. In 1915, right? 1915, Spanish flu happened. The only thing is that we are connected by Britishers. They were doing some trade. So ships. Through that virus came. That time India's population was 30 crore. 1.8 crore population will be wiped out. Yesterday, one of my colleagues told me that even Gandhiji contracted Spanish flu. And at some point in time, he declared that I have no desire to live further. It's such a suffering. And this is what Prabhupada is saying. The real suffering of the human body is birth, death, old age, and disease. This person has suffered so much for the skin disease, but she is still wasting time. All of us, we are suffering. And we don't recognize. I am suffering from diabetics. 10 साल हो गया. Who can escape the disease? Who can escape the disease? So it is better that we recognize that the world is operating under the control of Krishna. Isābhāsyam idam sarvam yatkinchit jagatyam jagat tena tektana bhunjita magudha kasya siddhana. Isābhāsyam idam sarvam. So everybody within this realm of trillions of universes, only one person's rule is operational, and that is Krishna. And he has given everybody, Prabhupada is saying in this purport, what is saying? Animals have no problem of economic. Animals don't face the economic problem or food problem. And we create food problem. We create water problem. We create air problem. Air pollution, water pollution, food pollution, everything we have created. The greed to acquire is a horrible sin. Horrible sin. What you will do with the wealth? Two days back, my colleague from IIT Mumbai told me that one staff in IIT Mumbai campus died. He was hardly between 25 to 30-year-old, very young staff, because of corona. And why did he die? Because when he was affected with corona, he didn't reveal. You are so frightened. You are so frightened because once you are detected with corona, they take you somewhere, they quarantine you, and there are so many news are coming out, and they say that wherever you go, there will be toilet will be very bad, there will be no one, you may not have good food, and that is worse than dying. So people are not even telling. So we may say in India, some 6,000 people are dying, are dead, but there are many more there must be dying in another way. Because of corona only they are dying, but they are unreported. Unreported. And still, this corona has come. It should at least create within us a sense of detachment, a sense of renunciation, and look for perfection internally. No. Still we are thinking how to make money. We are still planning how to make a big career. This all happened. There are civil rights, there are people are dying because of depression, unemployment. People don't have money now to pay their home house rent. So, dear friends, our situation is very bad. Not because that God is unkind to us. Our situation is very bad because we have missed the goal. We have missed the goal. Famine happened, but Bandhu Manti was not perturbed. He knew his, from Jajapur those days by walking. 4 days he took from Jajapur to Jagannath Puri with children traveling. 150 किलोमीटर कितना दिन में तू कवर करेगा रे रवि प्रकाश? हैं? How many days you will take? हैं? रोक कर रहा है? हैं? क्या रे? Why 15 days? क्या तू क्या छोटा बच्चा है? हर दिन 10-10 किलोमीटर जो चलेगा? हैं? हैं? कम से कम तो 20-25 किलोमीटर चल सकते हो? हैं? But these people they reach in 4 days. 4 days. हैं? So the idea is that if Corona, no Corona. Corona, no Corona. Our consciousness must be fixed at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. We must sincerely chant Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. One more paragraph somebody should read. Let Subhendu. Subhendu is there.
Yes.
Subhendu read.
Hare Krishna sir. Collecting and eating more than necessary also causes prayasa or unnecessary endeavor. By God's arrangement, anyone is in any part of the world can live very peacefully if he has some land and a milk cow. There is no need for man to move from one place to another to earn a livelihood, for one can produce food grains locally and get milk from cows. That can solve all.
Just a moment. You see that? How true is this in this Corona situation? The biggest crisis happened in this Corona time is migrant problem. Migrant problem. Please go ahead.
That can solve all economic problems. Fortunately, man has been given higher intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, for the understanding of God, one's relationship with Him, and the ultimate goal of life, love of God. Unfortunately, so-called civilized man, not caring for God realization, utilizes his intelligence to get more than necessary and simply eats to satisfy the tongue. By God's arrangement, there is sufficient scope for the production of milk and grains for human beings all over the world. But instead of using their higher intelligence to cultivate God consciousness, so-called intelligent men misuse their intelligence to produce many unnecessary and unwanted things. Thus, factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, and liquor shops are opened. If people are advised not to collect too many goods, eat too much, or work unnecessarily to possess artificial amenities, they think they are being advised to return to a primitive way of life. Generally, people do not like to accept plain living and high thinking. That is their unfortunate position.
Primitive way of life. Primitive way of life. Now, what is the problem happening? The government gave some 20 lakh crores of, but the point is that people are saying, what is the use? There is no demand. Eh? And a factory will produce something, but that must be sold in the market. There is no demand. So what an artificial way of life is this? Where we have spoiled our children by creating a demand for this. Right? Demand. This will solve the economic problem, this one. Instead, our education system should be such that we are encouraged how to take care of a cow nicely, land nicely, live with using a small and a simple, a robust but simple house, simple shelter. In 2015, Mayank Madhusudana was with me, and we had gone to Hazaribagh, and we were going to different places. And we saw many tribal people. They are living like among the, nice scene, a lot of forest, and beautiful, the stone floors. These are all naturally done. And they made a small hut there. And enjoying the nature very profusely, without spending any money. And what these people are doing, NTPC, Ambani's, Adani's, they have now taken their land by lease. 8,000 acre, 10,000 acre. And they will displace these people who are simply living there. They will exploit the natural resources. This is all artificial. I don't know, when I am speaking like this, because I used to speak like this, I used to feel, I didn't feel good about it, because what is the point of speaking if you don't do anything about it? The speaking time is over. We must do things. Do things. Right? So unfortunately, people say this is primitive. People are suffering from depression in big cities. I don't think that those who are, simple tribals, they are going through depression. Right? So the simple economic problem is based on cow and land. If people are taught how to live in a very simple way, I don't think this corona would have been. See, why people should go to another place? Earlier time, if one person left the village, that means that was considered very inauspicious. Why is he leaving village? But आजकल village की situation क्या हो गया? Ravi Prakash was telling, in his village, somebody was suspected of coronavirus. So police came. As police came to take, do some kind of investigation, the people started talking that we are going to kill this fellow. Massive ignorance have penetrated at every nook and corner of the society. If you are caught with corona, you will be completely abandoned like people used to abandon a leper. So anything can happen, my dear friends. As devotees of Krishna, we should not be frightened. We should be very confident about our connection with Krishna. We must recognize that this world changes like this. If anything catastrophe happens also, it is simply change of body. The world will continue in different shape, different form. But the goal of human life will never change. Goal of human life will be always same. That is attaining spontaneous love for Krishna, self-realization. So I think we should stop here and we will start from the next. So Prabhupada only covered Atyahara, and we will see how Prabhupada will cover everything here. So we will go one by one. So here, eating more than necessary, collecting more funds than required. So this is the part Prabhupada is covering now, and so just out of 6 points, only one. A lot more has to be covered. So we will cover tomorrow morning. Any question anybody has? What is saying?
India is third highest corona cases, and 1 week he will take. Like walking is asana. How much?
India number of cases is there, are third largest in world after Brazil and USA.
1 week he will take to walk that 150 kilometers from to Puri. That you asked to Ravi from.
Acha.
Question Varun Prabhu.
How can we avoid to be judgmental? Judgmental. अरे ये बहुत पेन करता है मेरा कान में. तो क्या करता है इसको? कुछ दूसरा करना भाई, ये बहुत मुझे बहुत परेशानी कर रही है. ये पहना तो कान दर्द होता ना? It's not good quality. Actually, people gave me a very nice one like this. I don't know where is that. At some point of time, he brought before he went to UK. He had purchased a nice one, but anyway, so
how can we avoid to be
judgmental? No, we should only appreciate the other person's Krishna conscious activities. We should only be judgmental about our own sadhana. And we should be always appreciative. You are saying how we can do that. That's a very $1 million question. Say this. How to do it? If you chant very nicely. If you remain with associate with the good advanced devotees, then you will see how they behave, how they conduct. That would inspire you, right? And so these are some of the ways. Hearing. You see this, today we read the story of Bandhumanti when he was beaten by the security guard and then he was put inside the jail, and his family must be crying like profusely whole day. It must be completely a day off. But he was absolutely unperturbed. He didn't scold, why, I didn't, someone gave me this food and now, for no fault of mine. He explained everyone. He said, when he was being taken, he said, I have done nothing, my dear sir. Someone in the night only brought this prasadam in this plate and gave to me. This is not my fault. And still he was beaten very mercilessly. Very mercilessly he was beaten. But he didn't complain. He didn't say this is their fault or this is their fault. He simply said that everything is happening according to you. You are in full control. So, we stop becoming judgmental when we realize that by Krishna's arrangement, things are happening. Next.
Prabhu is asking, are you trying to say that we should not be cautious and afraid of the novel virus?
Why you become cautious? Who says you should not be cautious? Even if you become cautious, so what? If corona is going to consume you, you will be consumed, my dear friend. That is my point. Yes, everybody must. It is not that you should go and mix people freely with people. No. You save it yourself as much as. But that should not be your priority. Your priority is that how you practice nicely. And of course, the best way to fight corona, I have to tell you, the best way to fight corona as of now, you chant very good rounds and improve your immunity. Take more citric thing, nimbu pani, mosumbi juice. So these are the things. More citric things are good to improve our immunity. Vitamin C improves our immunity. Okay. Next.
So one Prabhu is asking, like, this mentality that this person is like this, like that, this and so on. So how can we see Krishna?
Now this is what I am telling you. When you don't look at, don't become a fault finder. See faults within. Be inward. Suppose I find fault with another person. How is that going to help you? Why not you think? We should be business-like. Like for example, someone, I remember in 1978 or 79, there is a Oriya fellow from Jagannath Puri. He got in top 10 position of IS exam. Okay, this is civil service exam. So he was in the top 10. He was from Jagannath Puri. Okay, and so when he became top 10, and then it was flashed in the newspaper. That is, and then one incident was described that time, that wherever he was studying, some fight happened, some murder occurred, but he didn't know. Because he was focused on his studies. He's business-minded. He wants to crack the civil service. He was business-minded. So even if, just wherever his house is, within 10 meters, there is a big murder, there is a big fight, he is not aware. So similarly, if we are serious of our spiritual goal, nothing of this mundane world, including corona, would disturb us. Next.
He is also asking, sir, how to see Krishna's presence everywhere.
It will take time. It will take time. Please chant nicely, and slowly you will be able to see things properly.
Santosh is asking, what is the practical way of judging what is atyahara in modern times? What is the threshold of accumulation?
Actually, you should not. Whatever you have, use in for Krishna's service.
You can put it on the net also.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Are you able to hear me? Everybody is able to hear?
Yes.
Okay. So his question is, what was his question?
Atyahara in modern times.
Modern time Atyahara. My point that you eat, we talked about eat very, we have not really discussed in details of the we have to go a long way. Let us read Prabhupada purport. I don't want to speak my point of view now. But one thing is very sure, that, we should eat regulated way, eat healthy, and eat in mode of goodness, and eat only prasadam. Right? And as far as other things are concerned, in our temples, everybody, if somebody requires something, then we give some alarms, right? So devotees should be satisfied with minimum need. I don't know what is your question in the context of Atyahara. Suppose you are a family member and you say, oh, I have to teach my son in Harvard. How can I find money, right? If you ask this question, I have no answer. You are in Gurukul and we are paying you 30,000 rupees or so. And how can I tell you? The best way for you is that if you have a son, give that son to me, so I will engage him in preaching Krishna consciousness. So I don't know what you are really asking. Next.
Sachin Joe is asking, say,
नहीं, उसका और एक question. Please share more insight how modern people who are fully educated can follow the land and cow model in detail. We have given you and what is his name? Piyush. I don't know what you people are doing. The project has been given. You don't ask me. You should have taught. You should have been teaching me now how to do it. You people should teach me. I have not done it. You have been here for more than a year. You are given the training in NDRI and so many places. You are taken to the Akhya Kalpa and all those things. But still you people have not made a model. And in spite of you people are given, Krishna kindly gave all of you some crores of rupees. Still you could not make a model. So what can I say? So don't ask me this question because I am going to blast. So please, let's go. Next.
Sachin Joe is asking, is pastimes of Lord Jagannath Nitya Lila? Means will he be taking birth in some other universe today? Appearing.
Pastimes of Jagannath is a Nitya Lila. Yes, anything, whatever Jagannath does is Nitya Lila. You see, he takes bath, that is a Lila, isn't it? If you take a bath, is that a Lila? Jagannath takes a bath, that's a Lila. Snana Yatra. Jagannath, what is it called? Parswa. What happens, he changes the side. Chaturmasya, one side to another side. Right? And that is a Lila. On this Ekadashi, he is in this left side, or on the other Ekadashi, he is on the right side. And he changes his side while lying on the Kiradaka milk ocean. And that is a Lila. So, for Lord, everything is a Lila, and everything is eternal Lila. So, eternal Lila. So, and your point is that in some other planet, is Jagannath appearing today? Yes, sure. Sure. Why not? It must be true. Must be true. Yes. Next.
So one was asking, what should be our consciousness while eating? Is it okay to watch lectures while eating?
Yeah. If you can hear a lecture while eating is good. You can also play Prabhupada bhajan and eat. Okay. Srila Prabhupada used to eat very silently. Prabhupada always took 45 minutes minimum to finish his plate. And I take 5 to 10 minutes. Too bad. Next. That's all? Okay, thank you very much. All the Vaiṣṇavas, thank you. Are Suvendu, you give me a Skype call now, okay? Okay. Thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa to everyone. Snana Yatra ki jai. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bo.